How might God's dreams for the world's tomorrow impact your own dreams about your future? Today we turn to dreams of the future. You remember in the Christmas Carol that spooky ghost of Christmas future who comes dressed as the Grim Reaper. And he shows Scrooge a grave where only one person is there to mourn, and that's because he was promised something to eat if he showed up. And Scrooge is amazed that no one mourns this person's passing. And then the ghost reveals the name on the tombstone, and it is Ebenezer Scrooge. And Scrooge is the first character in literature to be scared straight. And he awakens from his night of spectral visits, and he is transformed. His heart is changed, and he's committed to living a life of compassion and generosity. I hope that your dreams of your future aren't about graves and death. But what do you dream about in your tomorrow? I'm at a stage of life where I'm starting to dream about retirement. And I'm starting to dream about where Jennifer and I might make our retirement home, with hopes about grandchildren that we would welcome there as our kids are getting married. And those are where our dreams are for the most part these days. Where are yours? Maybe you're at a different stage in life. Maybe you're just getting started in your family and you're just starting to dream about your kids' tomorrows and yours. Maybe you're not with family and your dreams have to do with your own aspirations in your work life. Maybe you're somewhere in between all that. What do you dream about? And then we always take our dreams and we try to figure out, what would I need to do along the way to reach that dream? So for me, what do I need to be saving financially in order to reach that dream? Where might we locate? Do we need to consider investing in land where we might build a house someday? And you have these mile markers along the way that get you to what you're dreaming about in your tomorrow. The prophet Isaiah does a lot of dreaming about the future. We turn today to Isaiah 11 to hear what his dream sounds like. Listen for this powerful vision of the future. A shoot shall come out from the stump of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. His delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge by what his eyes see or decide by what his ears hear, but with righteousness he shall judge for the poor and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt around his waist, faithfulness the belt around his loins. The wolf shall live with the lamb, the leopard shall lie down with the kid, the calf and the lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear shall graze, their young shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play over the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put its hand on the adder's den. They will not hurt or destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. How is that for a vision of the future? Justice for the poor, equity for the meek. The lions become vegetarians. Children playing over the hole of snakes who today threaten their lives. No more hurting or destroying. That's a favorite vision of Isaiah's. We've heard it in other places. What an amazing dream of the future. I wonder, when I read this, how do my dreams of my retirement fit with God's dream for the world's tomorrow? I'm convicted in that I don't see a lot of intersections there. What would it mean to think about my dreams as they relate to the bigger dream of God, to that vision of the beloved community? How might my dreams and mile markers along the way to reaching goals and visions for my life be more aligned with God's purposes and God's vision? How might God's dreams for the world's tomorrow impact your own dreams about your future?
Like Ebenezer Scrooge, I wonder if I'm even dreaming yet. Joe talks about his dreams, but I wonder if I'm like Ebenezer Scrooge and I'm not yet dreaming, and I have a lot of opinions about the death and destruction of this world and who's responsible. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder if there's a step before this that I need to wake up to this new world and possibility that God presents to us in Isaiah.
I think I find myself more like Joe, that my dreams are very sort of personal, and upon reflection, selfish, about good things for me. And the dream of Isaiah calls me to something bigger than that, and maybe something completely different direction than that. And I don't know what it looks like. I'm so struck that what Isaiah is talking about sounds so impossible, and
fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Amazing. But it's always, the gospel always presents as something bigger than we can imagine.
Right. And something that I think that the challenge for me is, even if my dreams are going to intersect with that, I have to recognize I can't make that happen, because that is beyond my ability. That is bigger, and that is God. So how can I be part of it and be kind of in the stream of that dream, recognizing that I can't make shoots grow out of stumps, and I can't make lions into vegetarians. I mean, I can't. But how can I live in a way that honors that dream?
Yeah, and see the dream that is possible.
Which is hard. I mean, especially right now, the newspaper, or the news of the day, it is so dramatically different than that dream. I have a hard time envisioning it in real life. It sounds nice. It makes a good painting.
And it's easy during this season to see joy and hope and love and to buy into all of that. But I still think I am a little concerned about the destruction and death. And I sit there instead of jumping up to a place of joy and hope and love. Maybe it all comes down to hope. Hope in the gospel, this hope that Isaiah puts before us.
I think that this is a dream of hope. And this is a dream of hope that God can do something that we can only just come close to dreaming. I mean, we can only just kind of imagine. But as you say, we're so stuck in death and destruction and in the reality that we see, getting there. But that's a leap of hope.
But again, we don't have to get there, because God reaches into that place where whatever is dead among us and brings new life. And that's what this whole passage from Isaiah is about, the new life and possibilities that are with God.
That's the stump. I mean, that's, there's a shoot growing out of a stump. So just when you think it's dead, it's over, there's not a future here, there's a surprise.
And it may not be what you're planning.
Right.
What a beautiful thing. That's
Right.
the gift of the gospel.
Right. I think that's why we have to hold our dreams loosely, humbly, because it may not be what we're planning, what we're doing. And to recognize that in the big picture, God has the dream and God will be with us in that dream, but we can't dictate how it's going to go.
I think like Ebenezer Scrooge, he's outside of everything, watching in. And I think that's what sometimes I do at Christmas. I watch and think, isn't this beautiful? Isn't this joyful? Isn't this... And I think maybe we're invited into it. Like you said, allowing our dreams, holding them loosely, but stepping from behind the glass window and watching to joining in what God's doing in the world.
To being part of that community, part of the peaceable kingdom.
The dream.
Yeah. To be part of the dream. I don't know what that looks like, but again, I mean, I don't think I could have envisioned this dream that Isaiah did. So maybe it's about being willing to be open to what it looks like.
But whether we can dream it or not, or imagine what it is, or name it, or parse it out, we know it's filled with peace and hope and love.
And joy. It's good news. It is good news.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
O day of peace that dimly shines through all our hopes and prayers and dreams, guide us to justice, truth, and love, delivered from our selfish schemes. Swords of hate fall from our hands, our hearts from envy find release, till by God's grace our war and word shall see Christ's promised reign of peace. Shall the wolf dwell with the lamb, nor shall the fierce devour the small, as beasts and cattle call thee great, a little child shall lead them all. Shall learn to love, all creatures find their true accord. The hope of peace shall be fulfilled for all the earth.